Alright, so as promised, I said I was going to record a quick one about gender. So lately, anyone, I don't know, anyone who knows me knows that when it comes to gender, I'm not necessarily opposed to or not interested in any certain gender. The only things I'm not naturally uninterested in dating or being in relationships or having partners of any gender identity, any at all, or any gender presentation. For myself, where it gets tricky is not the identity or the presentation, but culturally and in society, what it is that's going on around me. So that determines my comfort, and that usually determines, how comfortable me and this person are going to be together in society. Because I feel like alone, as long as the communication is open, we can work things out. If I'm doing something wrong, if they're doing something that makes me uncomfortable, we can speak about it. And, so one thing I notice, is I do have, I'm not going to go into detail about this, but I do have attractions that lean more towards certain interests for sure, as far as someone's born, gender, sex, someone's appearance, how they choose to dress, how they choose to present themselves, kind of like their masculine or feminine energy. I do have definitely a preference, but it doesn't mean that I'm opposed to the others. Like, I would say there's a certain combination of things that will catch my attention and it will stand out for me. That being said, I started watching this slightly newer, I guess it's like a vlog, interview, panel, discussion, queer podcast, and it's called Face the Facts show. It's on Instagram mostly. They have a YouTube channel that you can get to the link through their Instagram. I think they started in like the 30-something followers when I first popped on there. Now they're like a little over double that. I think they're like 77 or something. They've recorded about, their parents, some deep topics, and there's another one called the Les Factor that I like too. A friend told me about that and it was pretty awesome. I don't know if they're still recording. They should be. It's just quarantine screwing everything up, because they had like a group that would meet like on these couches in this store. So I don't think they can do it right now. But yeah, so that was something we saw, right? We saw that in these shows, you have these strong, masculine presenting younger aged females. Some of them are in their 30s. I think maybe in their 20s and 30s, it sounds like. So that's pretty cool, that it's like representation, and it's very relatable in my opinion. I'd recommend it to anybody who likes deep topics and queer people talking about them, queer people of color talking about them. But you know, um, so I'd say, it can be challenging to not, to be, to be not really of many minority groups. I don't want to word it like that, but it can be challenging to be just open, culturally open, and just I don't even know, guys. I don't even know where I'm going with this. Sorry, I apologize. I do. I really want to talk about this topic, but I think I'm kind of too exhausted right now to honestly get into it too much. But I do, you know, I would like to talk about, kind of my own presentation and identity and how that affects my social life, and definitely that there's not that much representation out there, but the representation I see is still very diverse. And all the stigmas, that come up, like, especially in the Black queer community, stud on stud, just like, or like two, kind of more masculine presenting females. So if you will, just think about, like, let me stereotype here. Two basketball player females, that, both play ball, they're both out there with the guys on the court and everything. And then for them to date each other, that would be considered pretty taboo. I'm not saying I don't think it's appropriate, because I do think it's really, I think it's cool, like, I'm down with it. I mean, yeah. So there's that. There's the people you attract. There's the people who you're attracted to. And there might be stigmas within those, even though there's already stigma of, non-straight relationships or non-hetero, gender, with the gender norms in place, anything outside of that is really hard to really approach for a lot of people, because it's just so many variables that a lot of times people don't have to think about. Like, for example, for something as simple as, okay, I was updating my Snapchat because somebody I met at a party last night was like we're like, yeah, cool, you're cool, let's get on each other's social media, and all they have is Snapchat. So I took a picture of their Snapchat last night. And then today I was like, dang, I gotta log into my Snapchat. So I got it already. And I was like, shoot, they're not gonna notice me for my name. So I'm like, let me put like one of those, what do you freaking call it? Like, kind of like not an emoji, like kind of like the avatar kind of myself. And it was so hard to do. I was like, okay, you pick the hair, but I'm like, the hair doesn't really look like my hair. I have like a short fro, but it's got some length to it. It's a little bit relaxed, but not fully. And then I have some hair in the front, I have like bangs in the front, kind of, if you will, like fro bangs, I don't know, and kind of a little part, but it's not like an official part, but that's how I would explain it. Oh, this is the worst explanation. And then I wear like shorts and tees, but they tend to be like kind of masculine cuts, but more like feminine colors. So right now I'm wearing like a pink t-shirt, some shorter gray shorts. Usually I have a beanie or like a baseball cap on. You know, I wear button-down shirts, short sleeve button-downs. I usually wear hiking sneakers. They're kind of on the nicer side. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the brown ones, but these are kind of like gray and purple. They're kind of like a nicer color. And then, yeah, I don't really shave my legs. I don't really shave my armpits. I mean, I do eventually shave them, but I mean, I don't like shave them every day. Like there's hair there for sure. And that kind of thing, you know. So I'm trying to choose this avatar for my Snapchat, and it's like, dude, the clothes don't match mine. So I'm like, I don't want to go to the guy's side and choose a man. And I don't want to choose any of the man haircuts, but then the female haircuts didn't fit me. Because, you know, I'm black and I have, like, you know, pretty natural hair. Like I said, it's a little relaxed. And then I was like, okay, I want to choose the, you know, and even just to start out, like, it was funny because it just had, like, the way you start out with making the avatar, there's a picture of a guy's one that's kind of already made and a picture of a female one that's kind of already made. And then it's like, those are the only ones you just click on the male one or the female one, then you just start choosing the aspects you want to edit. So like the eye color, the ears, the mouth, the jaw shape, you know, the glasses, you know, if they don't have glasses, the eye colors. I think I said that. And you can edit, like, I don't know if you can do like body shape so much. I didn't see that on there. Maybe I missed it because I think they're all pretty thin, full bodies. But, you know, I chose like a button-up shirt, like a button-up looking shirt, and then like shorts. They're kind of folded shorts. But I was like, dude, like, I would never wear this. You know, it's the closest thing to what I would wear this in the women's section. But I'm thinking like, dude, like, how do I pop over to those guys section? Like, they had like a Jordan section for, like, I guess if you like sports and stuff. There was some Ralph Lauren stuff on there too. But I was like, that, you know, was a little much for me. I wouldn't actually wear that probably. But those were the closest version of things I would wear. So I'm like, dude, this is crazy to me. But yeah, that really got to me, man. I was like, dude, like, I'm having trouble, like, building my freaking avatar. I'm pretty sure it took me, like, maybe 30 minutes, you know, just to put the freaking Snapchat avatar together. Because it just didn't match, like, myself. And I think they have more variety than probably most things might. But it's stuff like that where it's like, when you're kind of not, you know, when you're more on the androgynous side and you're not really too far one way masculine or feminine, life gets a little more complicated and tricky because you don't really fit a lot of the stereotypical things. Like there's this guy's sex shop, you know, with like guys' underwear, and like it's like a gay sex shop inside of one of these kind of restaurant places, and there's like a sex shop in there. It's hard to explain, but anyways, just listen. There's a sex shop inside of this like outdoor restaurant. Like you're outdoors, but you're in like, it looks like an apartment complex's courtyard, and then in the courtyard you see a couple other doors, and so one of those doors is like a sex shop type of store. And you know, of course, it's catered to males and gay males. And I was there, and my friend and her partner's a, you know, a female, I believe. I don't know, actually. I thought she was until I thought she identified as female, because I know, like, when people say her and she doesn't seem to kind of like refute it. But there are certain names, I think, like when we were choosing nicknames and stuff, she didn't want like a feminine nickname. And I noticed on her Instagram, like when she posts like like these little heart with like eyes and like hands and arms and stuff, and like hugging each other. And she posts like usually the classic like gay flag, and then there's the classic trans flag. So I noticed that she puts those little hugging hearts, the trans one and the gay one, on there. representing her and her partner hugging, It's kind of like a gay love thing. But I'm like, I mean, I think that's not accidental unless they only have that one. But I think she would purposely pick that. And for someone to purposely pick that means that, I mean, from what I'm taking is that she doesn't really identify fully as like a female. I mean, she's had a wife before. She's quite masculine. Her name is quite masculine. She goes like by a masculine nickname of her full name. Her Instagram doesn't have any pictures of her looking not masculine. She, it's kind of funny. She's got that big dick energy kind of thing, she does. But she goes in the female bathrooms. Works for a gay modeling company. But I don't know why I was mentioning this. I was saying that I was hanging out with them. Oh yeah, because we were gonna go to that sex shop. And then I'm sitting there and she's like, we should go. And I was like, yeah, like, because we're like at the restaurant, had some drinks, and then like me and her were gonna go. And her partner was like, nah, that's a guy's shop, that's for men. And I was just like, oh, like, but I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if her girl gets it. Like, that is appealing to me. Like, I was like, that is appealing, to me too. I was like, yeah, I'd prefer to go into a gay male sex shop than a straight female one. Or, I don't know if those even exist, honestly. But just because it's like queer culture, I feel like it makes more sense. So, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. This is just my stream of consciousness, and I'm trying to like just blurt my thoughts out there because they're all, you can tell, they're jumbled up in my head. And if you guys hear me talking on these things, you know how inside of my head is, man. It's like jumbled up in there, and I'm just trying to get it out. And this is the most productive way. If I think I'm gonna post it, this is the most productive way that I can actually record content. And I know it's not like great quality, and I apologize, I'm not editing and stuff, but I'm like, right now I just need to get it out there. I need to get my stuff straight about what I'm trying to do goal wise. Yeah, but those are just things that, I've been kind of dealing with lately, things that have come up. I feel like I'm mostly interested in, just trying to figure some of this stuff out. I know I'm noticing lately, and I'm trying to change how hard I am on myself because it is not healthy. Man, I really need to get better at, that. So that's what I'm working on. And this is kind of my process of it. It's a small part of my process, but it's a process that I'm trying to actively do. So I appreciate you guys if you're even listening to this. I mean, you don't even have to listen to it. It probably doesn't even make sense. But maybe I should use these to make notes, maybe, and then make like something a little more solid. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if people out there kind of think like me. I feel like some people do. So I feel like it's valuable to whoever may come across it. But I don't know. It's hard for me to be like vulnerable on these if I know that there's people listening or watching that I know, because that's a big thing to me. It's like, I don't want to be like open with people that I know. It's easier with strangers, but some of this stuff I don't want to talk about with like specific people I know, especially the ones who are friends who want to debate. It's like, I don't want to debate this. Like, there's nothing to debate. This is how I feel, but anyways, I said this was going to be short, and now we're coming up on 20 minutes. I need to go eat my dinner, and I I got some vegan bratwurst, so I'm gonna check this out. And thanks for listening, though, guys. Have a good week.